Hey everybody, it's CRESTED Geckos. Today I'll be giving you some tips on how to handle crested geckos. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would pick up a crested gecko properly if I can get Frito to stay in frame. I'm going to show you how to pick them off the ground and how to pick them off of like a plant, and then I'll show you guys how to handle. So let's get her, see if she'll stay still. Alright, she's kind of in the frame. Let's see if we can scoot this back a little bit. So this is a still crested gecko, and the best way to pick them up is to show them your hand so you don't scare them, and just kind of slide under their belly. You don't want to grab from the top because that could scare them or hurt them, and just scoop up just like that. You want to scoop under their belly and be very gentle with them because they're not, they don't have any scales, or not plated or anything. You got to be very careful when picking them up. And I recommend holding a crested gecko not too high above the ground or another flat surface, because they occasionally, especially with the young crested geckos or wild crested geckos, they will, and by wild I mean like not tame, will jump, and you don't want them hitting a hard surface or falling from a high height and injuring themselves. So I'm holding Frito right now just above this table, about 4 inches from the table. And as you can see, Frito is very calm, and the method I'm using to handle her right now is the hand walking method. All I'm doing is putting one hand in front of the other and letting her kind of keep on walking. They'll never quit, honestly. They love doing that. You just want to keep walking them, and they eventually might chill out and just sit in your hand. Now, Frito is an incredibly tame crested gecko. Some will just keep on walking in your hands, walking. So, as you can see. And let's see if we can get her to jump. A good way to, if you want to see him jump, is to just put your hand. She's not going to jump. She was more interested in just sliding out of my hand. Younger geckos will jump a little bit more than olders. Let's see. She's not going to jump. Younger geckos are more likely to jump in my experience. When Frito was younger, she'd be jumping all the time, but now that she's older, she's not nearly as interested in jumping around. She'll just chill out and really calm. Will stay super calm. But when they are jumping, just put your hand about, 5 to 6 inches in front of them. They're pretty good jumpers. Just make sure you catch them. Just give them a safe landing space, and she might jump. Occasionally, if you tap this section of their tail, it'll cause them to jump. I really don't know why, but it doesn't seem to work on Frito anymore. But when she was younger, I would tap that little part of her segment of her body, and she would jump right away. It's kind of weird. Now, as you can tell, she's really calm. She's just chilling out in my hand right now, and that's a good thing. Something you can do with crested geckos, because they're so calm, you can put them in your hoodie pocket. You can put them in a shirt pocket, and they'll just chill out. They're super calm lizards. Super calm geckos. And never grab your gecko by the tail, because crested geckos, like many other lizards, will drop their tails, and in this case, crested gecko tails do not grow back. That's why you see so many for sale crested geckos that don't have tails. I read an article once, which is kind of interesting, that I'm pretty sure it said that scientists have never found an adult specimen in adult crested gecko in the wild that had a entire tail. That is kind of cool. They only have found juveniles in the wild that have tails. So you're only going to find them in captivity with tails. It's just I find that kind of interesting. But never grab them by the tail. They do have prehensile tails. If I could slide my finger under here. She'll, kind of like a monkey, she's not really into it, but they can wrap their tails around branches, and they can hang from them. It's almost like watching a possum, or it's kind of cool, as you can tell, like that. Alright, so she's being super nice right now. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to pick them up from like a plant. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how you would pick your crested gecko up if he or she was hanging out in her terrarium, like hanging out in like a sansevieria plant, or hanging out in a bush plant. A lot of times they'll be asleep, or in a state of rest. So you need to be very careful with them, and you don't want to scare them, because if you kind of have a timid crested gecko, they might try to snap at you if you come over from over top, because they might think that is a predator coming in from the behind. So you need to register that, show your hand, and then just like I did earlier, like on the ground, just kind of scoop them up, and they should accept that, and they'll be super calm. As you can see, she's kind of leading onto my hand. And now you got her. A lot of times I just set her down like 30 seconds ago, so she's still fired up and still definitely awake. But a lot of times they'll be in a state of rest sitting in their plant, so you need to make sure that they're awake and that they can tell that you're about to pick them up, because otherwise they're going to be super flighty and you might scare them pretty good. So there you go. Before I conclude this video, I'd like to get a quick shot of her jumping, so I can just give an example of a crested gecko jumping. See if I can get her to do it. Oh, yay. There we go. They'll just kind of load up and then they'll jump away. It's kind of cool to watch. You can hear them at night jumping around. It's a really cool thing to hear and see. So guys, I hope this video helped you a little bit. Don't fall. Help you a little bit if you're having a hard time picking your crested gecko up or handling them. They're super docile creatures, and I recommend them as pets. They're really soft and fun to touch, and easy to handle. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Country Geckos. Bye.